engage, reflect, laugh, get comfortable, be you, relax and chill, sweatpants and coffee chat, freshly brewed, nice and hot, come sip, let's chat.
Hey friends, hi friends, Get in here. We are back for another episode of Sweatpants and Coffee Chat. This is episode 3. And today we are going to get in a topic called hashtag what?
Girlfriend energy.
Girlfriend energy. And I know that is a topic that many of us know. You know, we devoting all this extra energy before we even know our place and our position in a relationship. And I'm super excited because today we have our friends from Top Shelf Podcast. They are going to be joining us. They're actually launching this Tuesday on March 30th with their very first podcast. So I just want to invite them in. I'm going to bring our friends on in here. Hey, Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
Hey, hello, ladies. Hello, ladies. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm going to bring our friend Fred on in here. Hey, Fred.
Hi, Fred.
What's good? Top shelf. Let's get it.
That's right. Represent. Congratulations. And he is in the building.
How are
What's
you?
going on, Sweatpants and Coffee? We're ready to have this good conversation.
Yes.
I got my coffee. Got our coffee.
You know,
Jeff got his Henny.
That's what
Listen.
I'm talking about.
Listen, it's the Sabbath today, so no Henny.
Please, that's right. Save that for when we join y'all on set.
Yeah.
No Henny, no that.
I can definitely use it.
Hope y'all take
Henny
shots.
Tuesday.
Right. So we are gonna dive straight in. We have we found this dope video. The gentleman's name is Ace on IG. His handle is Ace @AceMetaphor. Ace Metaphor, and he touched on something we thought was really profound and something all women, all people in general, but women in particular, we could definitely relate to because you sometimes get into these dynamics and you don't all the way quite know your place. So let's check out this video and then we're going to dive straight into the conversation. Y'all ready?
Yep, let's go.
Let's get it.
All right, let's go.
I do believe men put women on layaway. I specifically believe that. And it's like you're breadcrumbed. You know what I'm saying? In a sense. You're fed little by little. Let me tell you how it happens. This is how a man puts you on layaway and you don't even know you're on layaway. Because here it is. You're getting paid or you getting fed into just enough to keep you interested. For example, this is what a lot of men and women, but we're talking about men, will do. They'll say, you know, I don't really want you, but I don't want you to leave. And they'll find the sweet spot of an amount of tension that they have to keep in order to keep you there, but not pull you closer. There's a sweet spot. How long can they go without texting you before you trip? So now they know to text you right before you start to. How long can they go without taking you on a date without you tripping? And then they do that. Every time they feel like you're pulling away a little bit, here comes a grand gesture. Now he posts you on Instagram one time because he wants you to know, oh, I'm serious. And that little gesture will make you be like, oh, he's serious about me, and earn him another 2 or 3 months of you being there waiting for him. See, the thing is, you won't feel like you're waiting for a person that is an expert of putting women on layaway. You will feel like you're actually like you won't. Waiting infers that nothing is happening. All right, like he's actively putting his deposits down. Right, $5 this week, $10 that week, $2 that week, and so you like eventually he's gonna play my total price because here's what you ask for. You ask for $100 of effort up front. And that's what you feel is worth in exchange for your loyalty, your time, and your love. But here's the thing about layawayers. They're not going to give you that all up front. They're going to pay for it over a year and a half too. And you think, okay, since he's been making these investments this long, then he must be serious about me. No, some people just got $5 to spare. You know, some people just have a couple hours to spare every week. And it's not that they're investing in you. It's just that this is enough to keep you here without me having to really dive inside my bag and really give you what you deserve. Okay? So I don't believe that people, especially good people, assume that another person will do that to them. Mm-hmm. So do I feel like ladies willingly accept layaway? No. I feel like most people don't know that they're on layaway. I feel like most people don't know that the little attention that they're getting from their man is just enough to keep them there. Because here's the thing, if he really wanted to be with you, if he really, really, really wanted to take you off the market, he would. He really would, right? He really would. He really would.
He really would.
Interesting.
He's stressing that point. He really would.
He really would.
Really?
He really would.
Respectfully.
Respectfully, right. He really would. So let's unpack that, right? Let's start off with the fact that like this exists, this happened, this is happening. Mm-hmm. Many people are dealing with that, right? So let's start with boom. How do you even know that you're on layaway? Like, what are the signs that you are on layaway? Now, I want to point out that women can put men on layaway. True.
Facto.
There is like what we call like the bench warmers. And then there's like the starting lineup.
Preach.
It's like that one. He said preach.
But who's the CEO?
It's a thing, right? It's a thing. As women, we on this, you will understand. We are transparent. We are honest. We're gonna tell you the real stuff. There's the bench warmers, okay, and then there's like the starting lineup, right? So we already know we do that. When women do that, men do that as well. Okay, so we're just gonna put that out there. This isn't like a man bashing type of situation. It's just. In this one, it's about the fact that girls usually are the ones that are being put on layaway. So, Jeff, let's start off with you. What do you think are some of the clear signs that a woman or a man is placed on layaway?
When you're not a priority. That's how I look at it as. When you're not a priority. So when you're not a priority, it's
not early.
You're when they want you, it's under their convenience. So anything that's under layaway, I'm not in a need, or I don't have an urgent need to get it. I'm gonna kind of just put a little bit there, when I need it, when I want it. I'll put my little deposit. I get you when I get you. So if there's no consistency, or you're not viewed as a priority as far as spending time, phone conversations, going out, getting to know you, that might be a sign that you may be under the layaway plan or the layaway title.
What do you think? I see you with a face over there. And
I like how Jeff is giving the top shelf experience, but I think for me,
what I do.
And I, like you said, you guys are transparent. I've been out the game for 8 years, so I'm like, all right, what do I tell the people? So it's time to pull up a chair and let's have a conversation.
Okay.
I'm talking about So you have 168 hours in a whole week. And if that person doesn't send a good morning text, doesn't say, hey, good afternoon, and have intentional conversations throughout the day, that's when you know you're on layaway. I always say for me and my thought process, if a person wants to make time for you, they will make time for you.
100.
Yeah. That's a good point. How many hours again in a week? Oh, there's a but.
You get the math.
168 hours in a whole week. So it's your choice as the lady to say, hey, do I want this? Because this person hasn't made time. And when I Google what is layaway, you do have a cancellation fee. So why can't the lady on her end have a cancellation fee. That's for you guys.
No, we can have a cancellation fee.
Wait, what is the cancel? What's the cancellation fee?
Bye. See you later. I'm gonna see you.
Yeah.
It was nice while it lasted, but if this is not gonna work out, I'm gonna see you later. I'll talk to you.
I enjoy the moment. I enjoy the conversation.
I got the bench warmers in the starting lineup. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could I canceled this whole situation. This whole thing is canceled.
Got it.
Cancel culture. You know what I mean?
Got it. All right. Fred, how you feeling about it?
I would say interest. We talk about interest. If we're talking about monetary, we're talking about interest. Is his interest there? You know, if we're talking about if you want a relationship, if that's what you seek, is the interest there? Is he pursuing and if you switch it around, hey, is she engaging? Is she responding? We're talking about interest. We're talking about chemistry. You know what I'm saying? Is that chemistry there? You got to start to notice, like, hey, why do I have to be the one to always call? Is that interest kind of waning? Am I putting more in it than I'm getting out of it? You know, it's to me that interest. That's if we're talking about layaway and somebody putting you on the back burner for later. That chemistry and interest is everything. I believe you can tell, like Anthony was talking about, like, hey, are they worth your time? Is it worth your time? And if we're talking about layaway, are they paying attention?
Because the female might also have her own bench warmers and her own, so she might be having 5 good mornings. But
talk about it.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, and you know what? It could happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I want to play devil's advocate a little bit, because there are those, and I'll speak from personal experience. I'm sure that we've all encountered a situation where he can show you just enough attention that you think, or his excuses are just that good that you think that either A, he has a good reason, as to why he's being non-responsive, or B, he does just enough that you're not on his case, but you don't even realize that you are not the priority, and that you, are not, or you are not it. I'll give a scenario that was just shared with us about a young man who courted someone for 2 years, but knew within 3 months he had zero intentions on wifing her, right? However, at the onset of the relationship, because we said, well, why wouldn't you just tell her? Why wouldn't you say, this is not what I want? But he said, but I told her in the beginning I didn't want a serious relationship. So for me, that was enough.
He said the disclaimer. He basically said a disclaimer. He was like, I already told her. So other than that, what do I need to continue to tell? Like, do I do every 3 months? I need to tell you that I don't want a relationship?
But the woman thought 2 years, okay, maybe something's changing. Maybe his heart is changing. And I think that is the mistake sometimes we give. We start to give that girlfriend energy before he says something different. And now we done fully, now we playing house. We doing laundry, we babysitting,
cooking, meal prepping, making breakfast before they leave for the house.
Oh, you done moved it. You got a drawer. You at the crib.
Now you asked a question in the beginning, like, so that also, I'm now thinking about, like, boundaries. Like, I teach my students about boundaries and setting our boundaries in the beginning of time.
Absolutely.
I know for me, I go to speak for myself. My wife had to set a boundary because she understood that I was being an F-boy. And at the end of the day, she was like, nah. This is what's going to be going on right now. She wrote me a long letter, and I was like, damn, it's either F-boy or I got to settle down and not have her on layaway, but have her as an investment.
Come on.
The language now changes because we now, this person's an investment. I can see her as the mother of my kids. I can see her having conversations with my mom, my dad. I can see us building a legacy. So we went from layaway to now legacy. I think when we change the language and set our boundary and say, yo, when you step into this environment, there's a certain level of expectation I have for myself as a woman. But if you can't do it, cool, no problem. Let me go to the next person. But don't waste my time. I think
so. You know what I think of?
That's good.
Sorry, I just went around. Apologize.
No.
Do your thing, bro. So you know, when I hear the word investment, you know what that reminds me of? Assets and liability. So when you're dating, or if you're looking at somebody that's like she's a layaway type of woman that I'm engaged in, so you may actually look at it as like she may be a liability. If she's an asset, then you're gonna change the title to, instead of layaway, you're really going to be courting. The true definition of courtship. So I'm looking with the intention of a long-term relationship that's going to lead into settling down, getting married, setting those boundaries, obviously, because you got to play your role. You don't want to put everything out there, and he's getting all the benefits, but you're not retrieving anything. You have to kind of just build things up, build that portfolio up.
Yes.
But Jeff, let's go back to the question, because she said 2 years. She played house. Yeah. When do you know? Let me stop playing house with this person, because now it became comfortable. Now it's become a normalized. Now it's become a new behavior. So what now? Go ahead, Fred.
Okay. What I was gonna say, you got to look at what she said at the beginning of the relationship. He told her, like, I wasn't looking for anything serious. It's what you allow. It's what you allow. Expectations versus reality.
Ooh, we give them top shelf experience.
I'm married. I've been married for 6 months now. My wife told me at the beginning what her expectation of me was. She's like, I'm here. We're going to go through. I want to court and unto marriage. That's where I am right now. I'm looking for marriage. I want to be a wife. So she threw me that wife energy at the beginning. There was no, I couldn't misconstrue it, you know? And the reality is, it's like, oh, okay, that's what I want too. I'm looking for a wife. I'm in league for a wife. You know what I'm saying?
So she positioned you in such a way that you could only align yourself or be out.
It was with confidence too. It was like, hey, I guess I want to be a girlfriend, you know? And, you know, it was, she approached it like, I know who I am and I know what I want. And I'm not going to allow somebody else to come into my space and waste my time. So therefore, like, if you approach a person with that energy and going into you guys' question is like, hey, this is what I expect. It's what you allow. If you let somebody do that to you for a year,
365 days. Just want to let you know, 12 months.
You're allowing yourself to take that, you know? And I can only point the finger back. Like, hey, I told her I didn't want anything, but she's still here. She's still cooking. She's still cleaning for me. She's still doing all these things. I told her that she can't expect anything different. That's all.
I think we should also. So I'm gonna play devil's advocate, because I think we also should be very careful, because sometimes we have normalized the behavior of rejection and stuff of not being wanted, so we don't understand how it looks when someone loves you unconditionally. So when we get into a relationship, oh, okay, he doesn't want to be with me. Okay, we can still hang out together, because we don't know what the next level of love is.
So touching on that,
rejection.
So we're touching on that, right? In the dating stage, you are getting to know each other. You are providing, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, back and forth. They're going to see who you really are. So the question that will come up then would be, how much girlfriend energy should be given during that stage that I have not given you too much, but just enough for you to know that I possess it, but I didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, what would be the levels of girlfriend energy that you provide during the dating stage before the commitment? And then leading up is, how long do you do that? how long do you provide the girlfriend energy
Yeah.
to this person?
And then to echo that, touching on your point, Jeff, because part of showing yourself as an asset when dating, oftentimes for a woman, is showing you just what I'm bringing to the table. And I can't say that I know where that stems from or if that's a positive or a negative thing. I just know growing up, and when we think about TV and we think about, the Cosbys and all those sitcoms and those images, when you aspire to be a good woman, you're looking at these images. So you say, I need to do these things. I don't know who taught us that we need to play house in order to keep a man or to keep a man's interest, right?
Let's talk about that.
We start these behaviors that y'all ain't even asked for.
Fact.
Yeah.
So,
we made the assumption.
And we made the assumption based off like the world and like what we see and stuff.
The
So
things
Jeff,
that impact and influence us.
yes. So Jeff, I guess the question can go to you. How much girlfriend energy is too much and how much is too little? And how long do you play that card until you become girlfriend?
Keep it a buck. So, I mean, there should always be boundaries, just to kind of echo back to what Anthony was saying. So when you're first dating, you're meeting somebody, you're putting your representative, right? So it's just like when you're going for a job interview, you're making sure you're looking good, you're putting your corporate voice on to make sure you get the position, right? And then you're under like a 3-month probation period. Then you get your benefits and all that stuff. So too much girl energy or just too much energy in general, it should surround any type of conversations, what the expectations are. What are we looking for? What are you bringing to the table? What am I bringing to the table? What is the long-term goals as far as us meeting up? Is this just a hookup? Are we looking into true courtship? Are we looking to just dating? Are we going to be seeing other people? So I know what position that I'm in, so I know what I'm going to bring into the table. If you're telling me that, hey, I want something like what Anthony was saying when he met, not Anthony, Fred, when he said he met his wife, I'm looking for marriage. My long-term goal is marriage. So if I'm dating anybody or I'm going under a courtship, if marriage is not the end goal, I'm out because I'm not putting that energy in. There were boundaries that were still set because I got to see she probably had to see if Fred could actually live up to what she's expecting. So as time goes on, you start seeing the consistency. You start looking at patterns. You start seeing that, okay, is this person is consistent and honoring what I have stated, what I'm looking for and what I want.
And that shouldn't change.
Yeah.
Correct.
Throughout that whole time in regards to pattern, scientifically, pattern consistency. If you notice, hey, you did this yesterday, but you did it 2 months before, you can see the pattern. And then if you bring it up, you say, okay, hey, you know what? I do not like this. This makes me uncomfortable. I always tell to Jeff and Fred, I said to myself, if I can't talk to you, we shouldn't be together because we can't grow.
Absolutely. I completely concur with the fellas. Like, what you dress like for a job interview, you dress up for what you want, right? With that,
that's why I dressed in a white shirt.
Exactly. That's why he dressed in a white shirt. I'm chilling. I already got the job. But
Anthony throwing shots.
Just want to come back.
Anthony, I'll send you offering later. But what I mean is, like, when you to you guys' question about the girlfriend energy, I think from the start, it's from the jump. If you're going into a season of courtship, you want to dress the part. You want to let it be known. I get it. A lot of times there are a lot of fellas that lie and only show their representative, and they continue
a long period of time.
Yeah, for a long period of time, for a year, for 2 years, for 3 years, for 5 years. I've heard of certain situations where there have been relationships where a guy has been with a woman for like 10 years, and then all of a sudden, like, yeah, I don't want to be here anymore. I think the best way to look at it is their actions. Look at what they're saying. Are they keeping their promises? Or is it just being that I'm being strong along? Or like, is he holding, like, what is his integrity like? Like, is he keeping his word? How does he speak to his mother? Like, like you look at those things. look at how they align up. Can I trust what he says? Like, yeah, okay, maybe not. Can I be his girlfriend? Yeah. I think there's like my wife from the start, she knew she wanted to be a wife. If you show up with that wife energy, you're gonna be a wife. If you show up for that girlfriend energy, you're gonna be a girlfriend. If you show up with that side chick energy, you're gonna be a side chick. You know what I'm saying? So I would say 100% of whatever you want to be. You're gonna dress for that job interview the way you want to get that job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the question remains: how long do you do that for before you what's too long? 6 months?
I mean, I'm gonna take that.
A year?
I'm gonna take that. I think it's on a case by case basis. I think that you gotta really consider the full dynamic of what you're into. So I use myself as an example. In my 30s, I have had my fair share of relationships. I was married in my 20s, very young on. You can tell me that I wasn't, made to be a wife, but I realize now developmentally and just in terms of just life experience, I was not anywhere near what I needed to be in order to truly, I didn't know myself. So you can't really position yourself to be someone's wife. And it's very difficult to navigate that when you're young and in marriage, right? So I'll start there. Full disclosure, I do have both experiences, but in my 30s, and I never really dated prior to my marriage. I only had boyfriends. Like my first relationship in high school, 3 years up until I went into college. I met this guy in college, straight out of college, we get married. So now here you are, 21 years old. You've had all of 2 serious relationships and whatever, examples of women that you have to show, to kind of, help you navigate in the way that you should go in a relationship. In my 30s, after dating for a few years, I don't claim people. I'm just going to be straight up. And it's not because, it's not no player, nothing like that. But I tell folks I don't need a boyfriend. I need a husband. So you play for keeps, or we just hanging out. You know what I mean? We having a good time. We might be dating, and we might do that for a while because I'm a very consistent person. I'm not really into the whole bench warmer situation. Like, I can't say, because a bench warmer, you can look at that in so many different ways, right? It could be, you got that person that could call who really like you, that, if you get rejected, you could bounce back real quick because, they'll entertain you. But for me, I don't really keep, if I'm going to dedicate my energy towards you, I just feel like it takes way too much emotions and way too much energy to try to entertain multiple people. So for me,
the serial daters. Oh, serial dating is
I can't do it.
And it costs too much.
It costs my time.
Time is everything for me.
I gotta schedule things. You know what I mean? Like I'm a whole.
I gotta put you in my Google Calendar.
I gotta remember what your favorite color is. Your favorite color.
Too much.
That's why I got married.
Yeah, I don't have time for that. So for me, my thing is, once you show me the direction we're heading in, I will position myself accordingly. I'm a very consistent person, but I'm not claiming anything that don't claim me. Period.
Come on.
So
I love it.
Is there a thing that's exclusively dating? That's exclusively dating.
I think the term of courtship has shifted, and it's called dating with intention.
Dating with intention.
And so I only date with the intent to build. Now, don't get me wrong. You can build or attempt to build, and then realize these bricks don't fit the cements and concrete. Like, it just don't fit the foundation that we're each trying to build.
Right.
We want different things. I may want children. You may not. I may feel a certain way about how children should be raised. You may not.
Right.
And let's be real. In my 30s, I seldomly meet a man who doesn't have children. So then you have that whole dynamic that's coming into a relationship. So you have to ensure that whoever you are locking arms with, that y'all can walk, the same path where there's at least a level of alignment. And so for me, if I'm dating to determine if we can walk arm in arm. Can we build? A big thing for me, if we can't get money together, I don't know if we can do this, girl.
So that's big for you, Lex. Right. What's big for you, Lex?
She had to marinate.
Let me pull out the pen of paper so she can read her list.
So I just need your top three. I need your top three right now. What is big for you?
I need a God-fearing man.
Mhm.
I need a family man, and I need a partner in life, good, bad, and indifferent.
Right.
I need for you to ride with me when I'm good. I need for you to ride with me when I'm bad. I just need you to always have me in every single situation that I've ever been in. I'm gonna need for you to pray for me, even when I'm not around, even when I didn't ask for it, even when I'm, you know what I mean? I'm gonna need for you to be a family man because I have a son. I have a little 5-year-old son, and like I'm gonna need for you to understand. For me, you could buy me whatever you want, but I'm really not interested. Time is everything for me. I'd rather you give me time than give me like that. So if I had to give you top three, those are my top three that I'm not budging on.
I'm gonna add a 0.5 as her friend.
0.5.
A 0.5. I'm gonna add a bonus. Okay. You have to be able to meet her love language because if you
I felt that
if
spirit.
you are disinterested in meeting her love language, do not buy her a Gucci bag. She don't care. But if you don't give her positive affirmation and time and that physical touch, right? You can't be sitting next to her and be in the next room. Don't do that, right? Like we together, give me that, undivided attention. And so what I have found too, like if they don't meet those needs, that's a deal breaker because
she's very right. I mean, she knows.
So I think it's also like Lydia was saying, like I think it's really about case studies. Like it's case by case. So I won't say 3 months.
How long for a man though? Like I know a man. There's no way a man would be like, I'm gonna date this girl for 1 whole year, 2 years, 3 years, and never be her man. Like, would y'all be okay with that?
Wait. Here go your question. How long did you date your wife before you married her?
4 years.
4 years.
And at what point did she give you?
Wait, no. But how long? No.
Well, let's bring it in. Come on.
There's like dating, and then there's like commitment, right? So how long were you dating before you committed to her? Because I think that's a big factor.
January 3rd, 2017.
2017, you committed to her.
Yeah, January 3rd, 2017.
And how long did you date her for? Before, like dating, like getting to know her, like
how long was y'all kicking it?
What's your favorite color? You know, that whole thing.
Yo, first of all, I hope my voice is not that low though. I'm joking. For a good year.
A year.
For a whole good year. Yeah, for a good year.
And that's when she was giving you the F-boy label.
And she was like, "You're gonna have to make this happen." Fred, how about you? How long?
Because, hold on. Let me just real quick. Because I was scared. I was scared to commit. So once again, I wasn't mature enough and my emotional intelligence wasn't on her level. So I didn't want to commit to her because I said to myself, that person's a good one. I don't want to mess up the other person. So let me go get my bench warmers because I could just come in and out. This one, I couldn't come in and out. So I think that's what made me commit on January 3rd.
Okay. Fred, how about you? You're just recently married. So how long did you date before you actually committed to her and was like, come in?
2 days.
Honestly, it happened a lot quicker than Anthony. That's no shots, Anthony. No,
he knew what he wanted.
No, it was actually 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah, because me and my wife, we met at one of my comedy shows, and we began talking through DMs first. That was the first thing. We didn't actually like meet in person.
DM love.
You know, a little bit of DMs. You know,
slide through the DM.
You know what I'm saying? It actually did go down.
Oh, yeah, pause.
There's still love there. There's still love in the It happened.
But yeah, it was 3 months, and then we started seriously courting. Like after that, we started getting to know each other's family, which was huge. Like I met her family like within that first, like after that 3 months when we got committed. Probably it was 2 months after that I met her family, and then she met my family 2 months later after that. I believe at the timeline may be misconstrued, but it was very quick because we both knew we wanted. We both were in our 30s. Well, I was in my 30s at the time, and she was like 29. And so we both kind of like, we really knew what we wanted, and we start seeing that in each other. We start building, and the courtship just developed beautifully. We did premarital counseling after a year. After a year and a half. It was about a year and a half.
Fred, I have a question for you. So when
What's up, sir?
When you went to see your family with her, was you observing her at that moment?
Oh yes. Just how she was around. We were talking about parents and everything. And I didn't have my father present. So it was just about meeting my mom. I was like, please, Lord, let her get along with my mama.
Right. Because that's huge. That's really big for a guy.
It is. It is. I'm a mama's boy for real, And so, like, she really did amazingly. She was so nervous at first, and like her and my mom got along famously. Like, she cooked for my mom. They were laughing like old friends, and now because of their relationship, like my mom calls her more than she calls me now. I'm like, do you have love for your son? Do you have love for your son? Like,
but was that the moment, bro? Was that the moment that you saw her as a wife? One of the moments.
Yeah, that was one of the moments where I was just like, yo, this might work. This might just work. This is it. Like I felt, and then it wasn't just that, but I have 3 sisters too, so it's like getting along and meshing with them. It solidified everything, and that's big for a man. I think that's really big for a man about how you get along and interact with the fan base.
Very much so.
That's definitely a big deal. Yeah. It's a big deal for me too. Like, to get along with my son, my mom, my best friend, like those people that are like impacted in my life. That would definitely be a key factor for me for sure.
So Jeff, let's kick this question to you because I know you have a daughter. So I could imagine anyone in your life would, and it's huge when that's not a boy, that's a girl. So that's the relationship between a father and their daughter. I think is significantly different than a mother and a son, right? And so tell me what that looks like for you in terms of, Fred so eloquently kind of touched on the blending and the meshing when it came to him, his fiance or his girlfriend and his mom. But what does that look like for you as a father?
I mean, for me as a father, so like my daughter, she's everything. Shout out to Gabby. She is my pride and joy. That's my BFF. Like she's truly a daddy's girl. So anybody that I'm dating, they have to have a relationship with my daughter, and my daughter have to have a relationship with them. It's not something I'm going to push or force. I want it to be something organic, naturally, no GMO. Just make sure that they actually have something I can see where like she's not going to be a replacement as far as like her mom, but somebody she's going to feel comfortable with. And my daughter, she's, we have honest conversations. We talk about, my daughter's 9, and she's very, very much aware that, okay, daddy's dating, daddy's in a relationship, daddy has a girlfriend. And where does she fit in between that? As far as, is this person going to be a priority over me? Do I have to like this person? Does this person have to like me? We have those honest and real conversations. So I can't date anybody that does not like my daughter. Like, I don't care how beautiful you are, how much I'm in love with you, no matter what we have in common. If you don't love kids, you don't like my daughter, I can't rock with you. My daughter has an issue with you, I can't rock with you. And my daughter's the type of person where she loves everybody. She's a very loving kid. She loves everybody. She just wants to make sure that she's accepted. So it wouldn't be a challenge for my daughter to actually like and become comfortable with someone. It's going to be more in the sense of like, okay, well, will this person like my daughter and accept my daughter and be able to date somebody who is a single father? Yeah.
So girlfriend energy, layaway. At what point is it acceptable for someone to meet your daughter given the dynamic that you just described? Because it's a little different, right? We're not talking about a mom, right? Because this is a child. And it's a very important and intricate part of your life as a single father. At what point, and I would imagine someone would need to be off layaway, or is it possible, right?
Would you bring the layaway girl?
Definitely not.
Nah.
Definitely not. Nah,
never.
Never. Yeah, the layaway doesn't meet the.
You investment now. Like you.
No, you invest.
You stocks and bonds. Like
that's a fact. That's a fact. To me, if you're a layaway girl, or if I put you in a layaway status, that means I don't have any intentions to make you wifey. So you're probably like, you're probably on the bench. You might be that side piece. You might get traded. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not somebody that I'm looking as for long term. Because title is everything. So if I'm gonna title you.
What Ace said, some people just got $5 to spare.
Hey, but then listen, then it's not the time for it then. That's it. If I'm gonna invest, I'm gonna invest 100%. You get what I'm saying? If I'm gonna invest, I'm gonna invest 100%. Especially at this point in my life. Like I'm 40. So, I just hit the 40 club. So I was married before, for 7 years. And I've gone through life with dating and all the things that came along with it, even along with marriage. So as I gotten older and I'm wiser, if I'm going to be dating somebody, it's going to be a courtship. I'm going to look with the intent of like, okay, what are the long-term goals? Because I have a daughter too. I don't want my daughter looking at like, wow, daddy got a new girlfriend again. Like what happened to such and such? What happened to such and such? It's not a good representation. It doesn't look good for her. Because then now when she looks at men, she's going to think that, okay, when she starts dating, that's how relationships are. So I have to be the best role model, male role model, because I'm the first one she's going to see. I'm the first man that she loves, right? Her dad. So I have to make sure I become the best representation of that for her. So when she gets older and she's, starts dating boys and she starts dating men, she's able to see, okay, you know what? I want somebody that's like my father, somebody who's dealt with dating, who got married, who was faithful and was loyal, and he became what a man is supposed to be, a role as a man. I need her to see and understand that, so she doesn't get caught up into like that layaway status. It may happen, but at least she could hopefully identify it by me kind of like showing her by example. So to go back as far as when I would introduce somebody to my daughter, it would be once we establish that this is a long-term relationship, we're looking to, get married. Doesn't mean like marriage is going to be within the next year or so, but we have long-term goals. We're not just dating. You're not dating anybody else. I'm not dating anybody else. We're not just kicking it. We're actually building a foundation. We're building something that is solid. And then at that point, I'll bring my daughter in and I'll see how you guys interact and see how that works.
Got it. Okay.
Good stuff. That's really good stuff.
I heard a couple of good nuggets.
Yeah, I appreciate the male perspective on a regular basis because
you just giving our truth.
It's nothing like it.
So let's recap, right? So are you a asset versus a liability? Facts. Are you setting appropriate boundaries from the onset of the relationship, and boundaries with confidence, as Fred said? Is it clear, what your intentions and what it is that you want in dynamic?
Both men and female, though. Like as a man, setting clear boundaries and what you're willing to accept and what you're not willing to accept. So that's
and then judging things on a case-by-case basis, right? So
for time, for longevity, because you can't really be like, I would only date a man for 6 months. Like you can't say that because the situation might just not be as cookie cutter as you may want it to be. So you can't really set a time. So yeah, you're right. So guys, thank you so much, Rock Shop. We really appreciate you guys.
Thank you for having us.
Everybody who is watching, they are going to be dropping when, Fred?
On this Tuesday, the 30th. Top Shelf Tuesday.
Top Shelf Tuesday.
Top Shelf Tuesday. Check them out. We will definitely be plugging their info in the description box for you guys to actually be able to kind of check them out. We just want to thank you guys so much. We appreciate you guys. We look forward to working with you in the future. Any last remarks, guys? Because these are characters.
Oh, I just want to say this. Just know your worth more than anything. Yeah. To everybody out there, know your worth. Don't be a project or a trophy. Know your worth out there.
It was a project chick.
Anthony, I'm trying to be serious.
Sorry, it was right there.
Yo,
It was something you had to do. I get it.
We felt right into it. We had to do it.
Real talk. My last thought is like self-care is the best care. Always know your worth. And that's the most beautiful thing you can give to yourself and a person sitting next to you.
Yeah.
Perfect. Any last words?
listen, just make sure that you're not a lease. Make sure that you are for purchase. Make sure that they
These
invest in
terms
you.
are just too much for me. Make sure you're not a lease. Make sure you are what?
Make sure you being purchased.
You a whole car note.
Listen, man.
Tune in the top shelf.
There's no commitment in the lease. There's no commitment in the lease. But once you purchase, once you finance it, you in it.
What type of insurance you got?
On the next
Yes, guys, you can check them out at Top Shelf on Tuesdays, guys. Don't forget. Thank you guys so much for locking in with us and speaking to us. We look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you so much. Salute to you guys. Thank you. Bye.
Appreciate you.